I have been watching your videos for the longest time. I found your channel by one day searching ways to know if a guy likes you, and then after watching that one video, I couldn't stop. Your videos were so energetic and fun, and sometimes had some really good advice. I started to gain feelings for this guy, so I started watching more and more of your videos, and who would have known that 6 months later I would have been dating him. Thank you for all the hard work that you do. Aww. So for today's video, I didn't really want to film it inside this room because it's so hot, but yesterday when I tried to film it outside, I got eaten by mosquitoes and I couldn't film the rest of the video. Oh my god, there are bugs everywhere. Also, I have a crazy tan line on the top of my head and probably indents from wearing my hat. So for today's video, as you guys can see by the title, I wanted to talk about some of the different things a guy is gonna do if he really loves you. The reason that I want to talk about this is because sometimes I think we get into relationships and we start hanging out with somebody and then they say that they love you, but then they start doing things that show that maybe they just like being in a relationship with you and they don't actually have those feelings that they're saying. So if you have no interest in hearing about these things, then you have definitely come to the wrong video. But if you guys want to know these things, watch till the end. I'm also going to be answering some Instagram questions that you guys sent me because there are so many, and I think that I'm going to start doing that in more videos. So if you did send me an Instagram question, I might be answering it. Just wait till the end of the video. Alright, so I wrote down everything that I wanted to say on this piece of paper, and the first thing says, he never pushes you to do the things that you don't want to do. The reason that this is important, and the reason that I think this is a telltale sign in telling if somebody really loves you, is that if you realize that this person is always pressuring you into things and they're always telling you to do stuff that you don't want to do, that is definitely not a good sign. You want to be with somebody who's gonna be telling you to do the right things, not pushing you into things that are gonna make you unhappy. And especially when it comes down to a relationship, I think that if somebody is always doing something that you don't necessarily believe in, or they're always pressuring you to go and do it with them but you don't want to, and then they still go and do it, you shouldn't feel obligated to go and do those things just because it feels like they're forcing you to do it. So that's a really good way to tell if somebody really loves you, is if they're really never pushing you and pressuring you and making you feel like you have to do things that you don't want to do. Another thing that he's going to do if he really loves you is he's always going to be wanting to take care of you. Now there's a couple different things that this means, because sometimes it can mean the total opposite as to what you're thinking. I think sometimes when you think about like taking care of somebody, it means like you're always around them, giving them all of your attention and helping them do things. But sometimes I think that it can be the opposite, and if that person wants space or that person needs to go somewhere to figure out what's going on, I think that's also a good way to show that somebody actually cares for you and they're listening to the way that you feel and the things that you want to do. That's an awesome way to see that somebody is actually respecting you and loving you. The next thing that I came up with that I think is really important when it comes down to actually loving somebody is keeping in contact with them all the time. I think that it's really unhealthy sometimes when people go really long spans of time without talking to each other. I think it's really important to just keep in contact, let each other know what's going on and how you're feeling. If that person goes to work every day and you're at work, like you guys are texting each other and maybe something reminds you of that person that you think it would be funny if they knew about. Communication is a massive thing in relationships, and if you aren't communicating with each other and that person, let's say, is not texting you for like 5 days, that's something that I think you should like wonder why he's not texting you. But if he is, then I would say that's fine, and I would say that's a good sign that he's really caring about you and he loves you. Alright, so there's two types of people, I think. There's people that when they hear of a situation, they try to put themselves in the person's shoes and they try to feel the things that that person would be feeling. And then you have the other people who totally criticize the person that's telling the story, try to figure out why they wouldn't do it a different way or why they did it this way, and they don't understand and they don't sympathize with that person. When it comes down to loving somebody, I think that when you are talking about certain situations and maybe something does happen, if the person that you're in a relationship with is always criticizing you for the things that you do and they can never just like try to feel the thoughts that you're feeling and like try to be on the same level as you when it comes to things that happen. Basically, I think what that comes down to is they're not wanting to feel the things that you're feeling. They're not really worried about your feelings or the way that you think. They're just basing it off of why you didn't do something different. So if he wants to put himself in your shoes and he wants to try to figure out situations with you and get through things together and try to feel the way that you're feeling so that he can help you, I would say these are really good things that like a person can do for you, especially if you are going through something really rough. So yeah, if he's worried about the way that you feel and you think, I think that's a really good thing. Also, another thing that I think is a really good way in order to tell if somebody loves you is if they really care about your goals that you have in life. And so if they do that already and they really care about your goals and they're trying to work towards it with you together, then that is a huge sign that a guy actually loves you. Alright, the last thing that I came up with is he'll love you the way that you are. I think that that is really important, because if somebody always wants you to change and it's something that you don't want to do, that's not somebody that you should be like in a relationship with. They should be loving you for who you are right now in this moment. When it comes to people going out with somebody just because they know that maybe they'll be really successful in 5 years, those are all things that I think really show that they don't really respect you, and it's something that I think you should look into when you're actually thinking about why this other person loves you. So yeah, if you realize that this person is never asking you to change, they just love you for who you are, that is a massive sign in showing that they actually love you. So those are all the things that I wrote down on this piece of paper. I also wanted to answer some of the questions on Instagram that you guys have been sending me, because there are a lot. There's like, that just keeps going forever and ever and ever. So I'm gonna answer 4 of them right now, and if you guys have any other questions, make sure that you send them to me on Instagram, and I will try to answer them as best as I can. I'm gonna sit a little bit closer for this part of the video, just so that I can show you guys like my screen, or I'll try. This question is from a person named Victoria, and the question says, "Hey, I have a question for you about the guy who I think likes me, but I don't like him like that. Would you be able to give me some advice on what to do?" So I think that if somebody likes you and you don't have the same feelings for them back, guys already have a really hard time expressing how they feel to certain people. And if a girl is ever really mean to him back in saying like that she doesn't like him back, that can sometimes like just destroy a guy's brain, because like he has so many feelings for you. So I think that it is important to show the person that you don't have the same feelings like that for them. But I think that if you do it in a really nice way by saying like, you know what, like I know you have feelings for me, but right now I'm not in the situation where I want to be in a relationship with you, and just try to say it the nicest way that you can. And I think that that will really give him the idea that like you're not interested right now, and maybe in the future something will happen. That's I think what you should tell. "Hey Josh, so there's this boy who's 16 and he is so cute, and we text 24/7. Often he writes me things like, I want to hug you and I really, really like you. I know that he likes me a lot, but my problem is that I don't know if he likes me more than a friend. He is nice to every girl, and I don't know how he treats other girls, so I can't compare it. I know that he also texts with other girls, so my question is, how can I tell if a guy likes me over texting? Does he write special things if he likes you?" So I think that texting is a really great way in order to show somebody that you do like them, because there's so many different things that you can do. And I think that when it comes down to actually texting somebody a lot and asking them how their day is or how everything is going, those are just little things that like when they care about your day and you're not going out with them, that shows that there's a little bit of interest in that person liking you. But the hard part is with people that are always texting a bunch of different girls, and then you start to wonder if that guy actually likes you or if he likes the next girl. I think that it comes down to actually hanging out with that person and being with them, because then you can tell by the certain things that they say or the things that they do or the way that they hang out with other people. So when it comes down to texting, sometimes it can be hard because they could be texting you the same way that they're texting a bunch of other people. So try to hang out with that person as much as you can, and then I think that will give you a better idea on how to actually feel about the situation. The next question is from a girl named Laura, and she said, "Hi Josh, I have a question. What do Tessin and you do to make your relationship not boring, and what is important to keep a relationship for a long time or maybe forever? I hope you understand me because my English is not the best. I'm sorry. Greetings from Germany." So I think in a relationship it's important to keep it interesting and like not let it get boring and just doing the same things, and then you just get in a schedule that's like you just realize that you're not really having fun anymore. So I can't really speak for other people, but for myself, I think that sometimes it can be a good idea to go and do things like throughout the day without that person, so that at the end of the day or the next day you see them, it's like, oh, I missed you and this is what I did. Also hanging out with other friends, but also if you do like traveling or you do like going out and like hiking and doing stuff like that, that's also a great way to get out and to do things together and just to like make memories together. That helps it to be not boring. All right, last question I'm gonna answer is from a girl named Gabriella, and she said, "Hey, it is this guy that seems really nice and all, but when his friends see us together, he starts acting weird. I don't know if I like him. By the way, love your channel." It really comes down to how mature a guy is when he starts hanging out with his friends and he's with you at the same time. If he starts acting really weird and different, once he gets more mature, I don't think that he'll do that anymore. But for right now, if you don't think that that's something that you like or something that like you can be with, then I would just wait, and then maybe in the future, if that person changes, then you could try going out with them again. Alright, so those are some of the questions that you guys asked me on Instagram. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and got something out of it, or just liked it. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Leave some questions down below if there's anything that you want to know that maybe I didn't answer. If there are video suggestions or things that are going on in your relationship that you don't really know how to deal with, I always like answering those in the comments and just like answering them in videos. Also, if you guys haven't seen my vlog channel, go and subscribe to that really quick, because if you did ever want to just like sit down and just veg in front of your computer and watch some cool videos of Tessa and I going through Southeast Asia, then that'd be kind of cool for you guys to do that. So I hope that you guys have a great rest of your day, and I love you guys so much, and I will see you on Saturday for another video. Bye!
What?